Peace and blessings, family. This is Brother Agyei Tyehimba, your empowerment coach. Today, I want to talk about a very important quality and practice that we must have if we seek true empowerment, if we seek to be successful and effective with respect to anything that we're doing, and that is self-belief. To be successful, we absolutely must believe in ourselves, and that belief must be unwavering. We have to believe in ourselves the way we believe that the sun is hot and water is wet. To help you understand what I'm saying, I'd like to give a story from my life, actually, something that actually happened. Let's go back to roughly the year 1997. I'm in the second year of a 2-year master's degree program, the Africana Studies and Research Center at Cornell University. The founding director was a gentleman by the name of Dr. James Turner, who became a very close mentor, or as we say, jegna of mine, almost like a second father figure. So I'm in this program. I didn't have to pay any tuition. I was on a scholarship, and they gave me an assistantship. And in addition to that, they gave me a sum of money called an assistantship to live on for each year. So consider this like not technically income, but more like almost like a stipend to pay for things like your books, food, and stuff like that. So the stipend typically isn't a lot of money. I think mine was like $10,000 back in 1997, and that's for the whole year. Now, keep in mind that at the time I was married. I was a young guy, 20 something years old. I had 2 children. I had that point, Nubia would have been 5. Zakia would have been about newborn. So $10,000 is not going to get you far. I saw quickly this money is not going to last. I had to do some thinking about how was I going to bring in extra money and do it quickly. This is the top of my second year. And I didn't want to have done all that work that first year only to have to leave the program because I could not afford my living expenses. Just so happened, I got wind reading in our paper, a gentleman was coming in to visit my department, the Africana Studies department. This gentleman, who I will not name, was a multimillionaire, and he just had enormous money and wealth and power and prestige. It so happens that he was also a former student leader at Cornell University. And so we had certain things in common. I was a student leader at Syracuse University, and I was a student leader at Cornell. When I found out he was coming to the department to speak to Dr. Turner, I said, whoa, I need to put together something real quick, a proposal, and I asked this gentleman if he would give me a grant of money. I figured out that $15,000 would make sure that myself and my family would be good. Also give us a little bit of money to save, to save for our transition back to New York City. I gave him a quick resume of myself, talked about my grades and all that on one side, and one sheet on one side of the folder. On the other side of the folder, I had 2 requests. I wanted to interview him because he was actually an important person as part of my research. The Black student struggle to create Black studies throughout the country in the 60s, but then I did a case study on what happened with the Black students activists at Cornell in 1969. And this gentleman was one of the key Black student leaders and activists at that time. So I wanted to interview him for my research. And then I also asked him for $15,000 as a grant, not a loan, money that I would not have to return back to him. And the thing that's important about this, y'all, is that no one believed that this gentleman was going to give me the money. So this includes my mother, my wife at the time, a good friend of mine, Dr. Turner, my mentor. No one that I talked to about this. And these are my biggest supporters. None of them really believed they were going. It was going to be successful. I had nothing to lose. I figured the worst that's going to happen is this gentleman is going to say, "Sorry, I can't do that. Good luck." In which case, I would be no worse off than I already was. So this is an example of a lesson my father taught me. Never try to answer for other people. Let the person you're going to tell you yes or no. Have faith and have belief in yourself. So that's what I went forward with. I timed it so that I would be at the department around the time he was scheduled to be there. Sure enough, I saw him coming into the department. I came out and I introduced myself. I had my little folder. I said, "How you doing, sir? I know a lot about you. I read about you in my research. This is what I'm doing for my master's thesis. I'm looking at this particular thing about Black studies, and you played a very important part here in the struggle for Black studies at Cornell. And so I'd like to interview you as part of my research. And I have another question I ask you, but it's all in this folder. So when you have time, I know you won't be here long, but when you have time, please read through it. My contact information is here. You can call me and maybe we can set up a time to meet if you're so inclined. He said, thank you, young man. Have to go, and I will certainly get back to you at my earliest convenience. I went back to the house, fingers crossed, prayed, meditated, and he went his way to the meeting. I had to go shopping because I had some friends that had come up to visit us. Upon returning from the supermarket to the house, everybody there, my friends had come. Everybody's looking at me really excited. I said, what happened? They said, the rich guy that you asked for money, he called you. He says in the message, I read through your proposal. I'm very interested in doing an interview with you to give you perspective on my student activism at the time and what our Afro-American society was fighting for. So we can go to the restaurant of your choice. Call me back, let me know. I can come pick you up. He said, I don't have a lot of time. The only window of availability I have is tonight. He said, so call me back. Let me know if that, is good with you. Pick the restaurant you want to go to. We'll go there. It'll be my treat. We'll have dinner and you can interview me there. I was elated. I called him back immediately. I said, yes, sir. Thank you so much. And I'll see you at the time. Gave him the address. He came through, picked me up. I wanted Italian. We went to an Italian restaurant. Now, mind you, this whole time, he didn't mention the money I asked for in the message. And when I got to call him back, he didn't mention anything about the money. It was just the interview from my research. So we do the interview. I get a lot of very important information. We talk about, racism and some politics and some other things. And then he says, all right, well, listen, I have to get ready to go, sir. Where do you want me to drop you off? I said, if you drop me off at my house, I greatly appreciate it. He said, sure. He pays the bill. We're getting up, putting our coats on. We're getting ready to walk out to go to his car. And he says, oh, young man, by the way, I asked Dr. Turner about you. I saw the grades. He told me about how well you're doing as a student. I got a sense of you as a student activist here and at Syracuse University. I'm hearing nothing but good things about you. I understand you have a young family. He said, you remind me of me when I was 20-something. My young family, my activist experience. He said, so I decided to give you the $15,000. Well, of course, family, I almost passed out. So when he said that, I was so elated. And because of that, I was able to not only have some money to take care of bills and stuff for that year in graduate studies, but I also had money to save when I had to move back to New York City, and even a little money to pay off my tuition bill at Syracuse, whatever was remaining. So it was really a big deal. When I told everybody, nobody could believe it. And on top of that, because of me coming to him, he decided that he was going to give that same amount every year to the department to help support graduate students. And the department would have the power to decide who got it. That part fell apart, but he gave me my $15,000. I think part of it is I knew something about him because I'd been studying him in my research. But at the end of the day, I think what it speaks to on my part is unwavering belief in myself. Despite me hearing from all of these different people, hey man, people hitting him up for money all the time. He's not going to give you $15,000. He doesn't even know you. Despite the fact that I was the only one who believed, I never once doubted myself. I believed when nobody believed. I had an unwavering belief. Now, this is because all these years up to that point, I've been reading motivational books, the Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Peale, and Think and Grow Rich, and The Laws of Success by Napoleon Hill, and all of these books about motivation and self-empowerment and self-development. And they all emphasize the power of belief. You must believe in yourself even when no one believes. Even if you're standing alone, it's almost a superpower that a person who believes in themselves, like they believe the sun is hot and water is wet, can do miracles. And it is a fact. I can bear witness. I have so many other stories I might get into in different videos. You must have unwavering belief in yourself the way you have it in your religion, in your marriage, in your relationship, in your kids, and all these other things you believe in. Well, guess what? Believe in yourself. Believe 100% in yourself. It will guard you against getting in your own way, anxiety, all the people around you sometimes who will be naysayers, who will not believe, who will not maybe support you the way they should. It'll build you up and it'll toughen you in those tough times. Take it from me, family. This story is not made up. It is 100% true. So if you can believe in yourself in that same way, you'll be surprised what mountains you will move Have unwavering belief in yourself, family. It is a superpower and it makes miracles happen. Peace and blessings to you. If you like this, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, share the video, and leave some comments. And also, if you have an incident in your life where you had unwavering belief in yourself and you were able to do something that no one thought you could do, share that story in the comments. I'd like to hear about it.